At exactly 3 a.m., 3 knocks echoed through an 11th floor apartment in downtown Chicago. The man inside, Ethan Miller, 32, sound designer, lived alone. His front door opened directly onto open air. No hallway, no landing, just a steel balcony, 11 stories above the street. Whoever knocked had nowhere to stand. The sound was sharp, deliberate, perfectly spaced. Ethan froze, listening for footsteps. There were none, only rain hissing against the glass and the slow hum of his computer. He whispered, "Who's there?" Silence. Then another 3 knocks, closer, slower. He checked his hallway camera. The feed glitched to static between 2:58 and 3:02. When the image returned, the timestamp had jumped ahead 2 minutes. Nothing in view. He told himself it was interference. But when he opened the file from his audio recorder, something waited inside. 3 identical impacts, each separated by exactly 2.7 seconds. And under them, faint but distinct, a voice. "Let me in." He replayed it again and again until dawn. Every waveform the same, every breath aligned, too precise to be chance. From that moment, Ethan began documenting everything. He didn't yet realize that 3 a.m. would soon become the hour that erased his peace, and eventually, his name. If it were your door, would you have opened it? 2 days later, Ethan met his only neighbor still awake past midnight, Mrs. Dempsey, 72, retired nurse, apartment 1104. She stood in the hallway in her robe, eyes wide, holding an old transistor radio that crackled even when switched off. She said, "You hear it too, don't you?" Ethan hesitated. She continued before he could answer. 3 knocks, same hour. Every few years it starts again. Don't answer. That's how they get you. She shuffled back into her room and shut the door. That evening, he found a folded newspaper clipping slid under his own. The headline, "The Midnight Visitor. 5 residents vanish after 3 a.m. knocks." The article was dated 1987. Same address, same floor, same pattern. He knocked on 11:04 the next morning to return it. No answer. The door hung slightly open. Inside, dust on every surface. Calendar frozen at 2015. Power cut. The apartment had been empty for years. Building management confirmed it. No one named Dempsey on any current lease. That night, Ethan reviewed the hallway camera again. At 2:59 a.m., frame by frame, a figure appeared. Short, stooped, robe fluttering in a draft. Mrs. Dempsey. Her lips moved. No audio. At 3 a.m., the frame flickered once, and she was gone. He watched the clip until sunrise, convinced the camera had captured a warning. He just didn't know for whom. He placed microphones across the apartment, one by the front door, one near the bed, a third beside the window facing the city. If the knocks returned, he'd triangulate the sound. They came again 3 nights later. All 3 mics captured them. But the timing was impossible. The bedroom microphone, deep inside the apartment, recorded the knocks first. 2 seconds before the door mic. The sound was coming from within. Ethan froze the waveform. The amplitude traced a shape that looked like the outline of a hand pressing against glass. He enhanced the lower frequencies. Under the knocks, a breath emerged. Then a whisper, "Behind you." He turned, nothing there. But the smell near the door had changed, iron and smoke, like metal struck by lightning. Every new file behaved differently. Some started minutes before he pressed record. Others continued long after he stopped. When he played them in reverse, each produced the same 3 beats at perfect intervals, a pattern that matched his heartbeat from his smartwatch logs. He stopped sleeping. The apartment felt smaller, sound bouncing off surfaces that shouldn't echo. Once, he found condensation on the inside of his door, hand-shaped streaks fading as he stared. He confided in a coworker over chat. "The night my wife died, she called me at 3 a.m. I was editing, didn't pick up. 5 minutes later, the crash happened. Now it's the same hour, same sound." Maybe it's her. The next message never sent. The screen froze at 2:59 a.m., and 3 seconds later, his door camera triggered again. Friday, November 21st. Exactly the date his lease began. Exactly the anniversary of his wife's death. Ethan decided to end it. He sealed the vents, taped the outlets, turned off every light except the candles he set in a circle around his workstation. At 2:59 a.m., he pressed record one last time. The footage runs for 3 minutes. The first shows only him waiting, eyes fixed on the door. At 3:00 a.m., the knocks come. 3, precise, unhurried. He whispers, "Who's there?" A voice answers from both sides of the door at once. "You." The handle turns. The door opens halfway. Every candle leans toward it, flames bending in one direction. Then, for half a second, the camera captures 2 versions of him. One seated, one standing at the doorway. Both flicker out as the frame goes black. When police entered at 9:14 a.m., the apartment was locked from the inside. Candles melted to the base. Laptop still recording. Ethan Miller was missing. The final file is 38 seconds long. 3 knocks, a slow exhale, then his own voice saying, "Don't answer it." Forensics found no edits. The timestamp, 3:01 a.m. The case, Cook County, 4827CH, remains open. The unit is now sealed, marked maintenance hold. Yet every few weeks, the building's motion sensors detect movement outside 11:06 at exactly 3:09 a.m. 3 knocks. Silence. So if you hear it tonight, even if it sounds familiar, even if it says your name, don't answer. Because every version of that sound, when analyzed, starts before the recording begins.